we gave them a little bit more to cheer about this week, right? So I think the key here, and I just talked to the football team about it, that's a good step in the right direction. We all understand the level of competition in the opponent. We have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Hatcher and Samford, but better teams and better opponents are coming, right? There's still a handful of things for us to clean up as a whole. But I thought the defense settled in, and obviously DJ Lagway had a phenomenal night. And we played well around him. You know, we challenged the team in every position group and on special teams to kind of rally around him and raise their level of play, knowing that he was a rookie and it was his first start. And I thought we started fast. We had some energy about us early. So compliment to the players. It's been a long week. It's been a tough week. And I do think our players got a little bit better each day. Wednesday, we had a phenomenal practice, and then I think the leadership was in a good place heading into the game today. So what questions do we have here?
How did DJ just energize the attack and really the crowd, too? I mean, last week, I don't think he had one 20-yard pass. I think he had 6 35-yarders himself.
Yeah, no, I think the explosives in the first half obviously were a big piece to the puzzle. You know, 2 big plays. And we had some balance, right? I think we established the run early. You know, he had time, too, right? I mean, I think that's the important part as well. We protected better. So, yeah, very impressive. I thought he was pretty clean. I think he had a mental error in the first drive, and then outside of that, overall, he managed it well and played pretty clean.
Billy, what does this do for his chances of playing more going forward?
Yeah, no, I think that our intentions are the same. You know, we intend to play him every week. You know, I think we intended to do that last week as well. I think we had 20 plays or something at halftime last week or something. So I struggled to get any rhythm going. But he brings a different element to our team, and there's no question he'll be a part of every plan going forward.
Billy, one more on DJ. What kind of impressed you most about his performance?
You know, I would tell you there's 2 things. Before he got here, I was amazed with the humility and how he handled all the attention. You know, we knew him before he exploded. You know, I mean, we found him early, and he was committed to us, and then his high school career just blew up that senior year. But to just see how he handled himself, the way he prioritized his team back at Willis, and the way he carried that community and represented his family. So that was extremely impressive. And then to get here, I think it's never too big for the guy. You know, I almost think it's like he raises his level a little bit. You think about the spring game last week when he went in, and then you would have never known any different this week. I mean, he was just moving right along. You know, I think he's had a chance to watch Graham prepare, knew what to expect, had a week under his belt. And then, obviously, he was excited, you know, and I think he made the most of his opportunities. Do you really need the microphone in here? I guess that's right. The fans need that, right?
So 3 of DJ's first 4 passes tonight were for 40 yards or more. How would you say that his ability to just throw the deep ball and just, like, push the offense that way expands your guys' attack just when you guys are looking to make some moves offensively?
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. I mean, I think the vertical passing game, not just, I mean, these are accurate, you know, right in stride. I mean, they were impressive. So, and, you know, the first one was a naked, right? And it's almost like he said, I'm throwing that double move on the outside, right? So he set his feet. First 2 guys in the progression were open, and he threw it down there to Badger. That was impressive. So, yeah, he's got that in him. And, you know, he's been battling. His arm has not necessarily been 100% the last couple weeks. You know, he's been banged up a little bit, and I think he finally kind of the end of the week this week was healthy. You saw that tonight.
Coach, you stressed execution this week and how important that was on both sides of the ball. Just at face value, before you look at the tape, how would you gauge that this week?
Well, I think we communicated better on defense, and I think that we adjusted well. They gave us a ton of wrinkles early, a lot of loose plays on the perimeter. I thought that the defensive staff did a good job of adjusting, getting to the right concepts based off of how they were playing offense. And then, yeah, I mean, I think offensively, I'm frustrated with the penalties. You know, we had the offensive line had a handful of penalties that we need to clean up. But yeah, it was clean. I mean, I would say they gave us a few things different on defense, but for the most part, it's what we practiced, and I think the guys handled it pretty well.
Just following up, what kind of shoulder issue, arm issue had DJ been dealing with? And then secondly, can you just take us through, did you call plays in week 1 and did you call plays tonight?
Yeah, so, Lagway just had coming out of camp, you know, I just think it was a volume thing for a rookie, just the wear and tear of training camp and the number of throws. No significant issue there. But it was an issue, you know, right there headed into Miami, you know, but I think he had a phenomenal week and he's 100% healthy now. And we called the plays, you know, I don't necessarily, our entire offensive staff worked hard all week, and so I think that's overrated. You know, I think the offense executed well today, but yeah, we called the plays week 1, and we called the plays tonight as well.
You mentioned penalties disappointing you or frustrating you. There was like several personal fouls, I guess, again. I mean, last week was a couple, but this week it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, we had 2. One was, I think, you know, the roughing the passer. I think we'll go back and look at that. The ref was bang, bang. I saw the replay. I could see where that could go either way. You know, now the kid that shoves the guy after the PAT, that's not acceptable, right? So we have to eliminate those types of things, right? And those are personal decisions, and you compromise the entire team when you do those types of things. And we're not going to tolerate it. So nothing frustrates me more than, you know, things like that.
They might have missed one because DJ took a pretty nice shot to the head, and how did he kind of handle that and shake that off?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think he's probably a little more fatigued than maybe he was hit. You know, I think he ran around a little bit, but definitely took a shot there. But he was clear. Got to the sideline. He was all good to go.
Billy, congrats on the victory, first off. As it was mentioned before, the fact that DJ just energized everybody from your team to the stadium and everything, 456 yards is something to
Right.
be very proud of. But how much is that performance? And yes, it is Samford, and you're going to be playing an SEC team next week. How different is it going to be? How much does it thought go in that maybe if we give him the start, we could see something different out of him? I mean, is that going through your mind right now, or?
Well, that's a hypothetical question. You know, I mean, we're going to enjoy this game tonight. We'll go back and watch the tape. You know, we've got a good young quarterback, and we have an incredible veteran quarterback as well, right? So it's a good thing for our current team and the future of the program to some degree. So, look, I think we have the makings of a really good football team. You know, I think that if we can play complementary ball and we can play good defense, good offense, good in the kicking game, we've got a chance to have a good team. You know, this group of players is very disappointed with how they performed in week 1. You know, and it's personal to them. And I think that they're on a mission to prove that all this work that they've been doing, you know, that was not, you know, who they want to be. You know, I mean, I think it's been a tough week in that regard. So maybe that gives us the spark that we need to prepare the right way, to start fast, to bring energy. But there's no doubt the level of competition that we're getting ready to face over the next couple of weeks will be completely different, right? So they understand that, we understand that, and ultimately we've got to have a good week of prep. We got a chance to be in the swamp again next week at 3:30.
The receivers today, you know, Badger, obviously, I know Khalil Jackson had, you know, the tough situation this week, but Badger, Aiden Mizell, Ty Hawkins, it seemed like a lot of guys spread the ball around really well. What were your thoughts about their involvement in the passing game today as well?
We've got some good young receivers. You know, I think you kind of saw that today. You know, I think Tank's capable. Marcus Burke is capable. You know, he's had a great week and got the start. And you know, Badgers happened to be in the game when the ball came his way. Right, Trey came out of halftime, and we felt like we hadn't involved Trey enough, and we got him the ball early. But yeah, I mean, I think the depth of that group will be tested. And we're going to need some of those young players to step up and be productive every week. You know, and receiver's tough, right? Because you're out there playing. You might play 50 plays and catch 3 balls, but you played really well. You ran a lot of good routes. The coverage was maybe tilted your direction, and the ball went somewhere else, right? So I think that group needs to continue to improve and develop as the season goes. It's going to be a big piece of the puzzle for us.
I know Graham was dealing with his own recovery throughout the week, but how much did you see him involved in helping prepare DJ for making his first start? And I know you mentioned he'd be in the box potentially, but what did you see out of him on the sideline and helping to be that kind of a player coach that you've talked about throughout the game?
No, he's been with him, you know, the majority of the week. I would say especially the latter half of the week once he was kind of cleared and back in meetings, back at practice. I mean, the night before the game, they had like a little walkthrough in the room. You know, I mean, Graham was going through every play with him, and they were. So I mean, that's the type of relationship that they have, and I've been watching them since January, right? So they're both incredible young men and really good teammates.
So this won't be like a Wally Pipp situation, if you know that reference, with Graham losing a job because of injury.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think it proves what we thought in the beginning. This guy was a Gatorade National Player of the Year. He's one of the best players in the entire country, and then he got an opportunity to play the entire game today, and he is what we thought he was, right? So, yeah, we're going to stay the course, and much like we described in the beginning, we'll have a plan for DJ every week going forward.
And then George Gums, tight end, only played a year of defense. Just what did you guys see from him? And then tonight, I think 3 tackles for loss, a sack.
Yeah, no, it's a great evaluation. Bird Sherrill found George. He went in early, and then obviously they did a good job kind of doing the research and homework. You know, George was a former walk-on that turned scholarship player as a receiver, then tight end. He played on special teams. Then last year, he moved to defensive end and then had a good year. He's got traits, and he's one of the better. I mean, he's an incredible. You guys should do a story about George Gums. He's an impressive young man. He's got a great story, COVID recruit. Definitely a guy that has done a good job with our team. You know, he's got some personality, maturity. His work habits are second to none, and we anticipated that he had a chance to be a good player. He's proven that over time.
Last question. Is Mertz cleared, and do you expect him to be cleared by Monday?
He's not officially clear. He has to go through his non-contact practice, so he'll be back. Yeah, we anticipate him being full speed for next week.
Obviously, there was a lot of negative buzz in the days after the Miami game. Some rankings having Florida dropping to only 3 wins on the season. Just what does a dominant performance like this, was it due to just change the attitude in the locker room and get you guys back on track as you look forward to a tough matchup against A&M this weekend?
Yeah, it's a good step forward. You know, ultimately, our players are very aware. I mean, I have leadership coming up to me and saying, hey, Coach, look, we all understand this was a good day, good step in the right direction, but we got a lot of work to do, and we got to make sure we're in the right frame of mind when we show up tomorrow. So, look, better competition is ahead. We all understand that. We have more to prove. You know, we have a lot to prove. In this group, I think it's personal to them. And look, I mean, we've got a chance to play a really good A&M team next week, an SEC opponent, and be back in front of our fans. And I think that this group takes a tremendous amount of pride in representing the university and all the things that come with that. And you know, they didn't feel good about how they did that week 1, and they're anxious to get back out there and do it better next time.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
How y'all doing? It's just because I got to put it in.
How impressive was DJ?
Oh, man, I love that kid. I already knew the night was going to be successful for him just by the way he works and the way he carries himself. He carries himself like a starter. He carries himself like a starting quarterback. So I honestly almost wasn't even surprised because the kid works so hard and he tries his best to understand the game and he keeps up with Graham and he takes from him. So I watched that kid closely. And he works super, super hard. So I already knew what was ahead of him for tonight.
You guys came out of the gates firing on all cylinders, forcing a turnover right away, creating all kinds of pressure in the backfield. Just what was your guys' mindset after, obviously, a rather turbulent performance against Miami in Week 1? What were you guys trying to do this weekend and just set the tone?
I think get our confidence back because it did take a shot at our confidence, and it took a shot at just the way we felt about our whole team. But I think just through leadership and the way we carried ourselves through this week, we wanted to prove to not just the Gator fans, but I love the Gator faithful because the Gator faithful is what keep me going. They don't shy away from us when we do bad or good. They're always with us. But we just wanted to show the Gator faithful that that we actually have this team and the things that we preach about, we can actually put that on tape and give them and perform for them. So that was just the main thing, just getting back and just getting our confidence back.
Just elaborating on this a little bit more, just how difficult was the last week after the Miami loss, and how important was it to kind of wipe the slate clean?
It was difficult. It was difficult that night. It was difficult the next day, and it was difficult the next day. But the thing about this game, it'll be difficult. It would be difficult regardless, because you got to be able to handle success and you got to be able to handle the failure as well. So it was difficult, but I feel like we kind of picked ourselves up and we said, we dust ourselves off and we said, you know what, that's not us, and that's not a reflection of the brand of football we play. That's not a reflection of our effort, and that's not a reflection of our execution.
When you go now after this win, the locker room's going to be amped up. I'm sure the locker room was amped up.
Mm-hmm.
How does that go into playing an SEC team next week against A&M?
As far as just us,
Like
energy.
as a unit now, like that you've gotten this win and like the momentum pushing forward.
Oh yeah, it gave us it's giving us momentum, but I know we're going to be realistic with ourselves. We're going to enjoy this win, obviously, but we're going to be realistic with ourselves and fix the things we need to fix and tighten the bolts in places where we need to tighten the bolts at, because we understand it's better competition ahead, and we're gonna have to take 10 steps forward in order to be able to prepare to compete against those guys. So we understand that, and I think we're gonna let this be confidence. We're gonna let this boost us, and we're gonna enjoy this for the night. But when our head comes off that pillow in the morning, it's gonna be a whole different mindset, and I think everybody understands that from the leadership standpoint all the way down to the younger guys. So.
Head comes off that pillow, I tell you. You're good, man. So when you see your coach under fire the way he's been, I know you guys really like Billy. You like how he's worked with you guys and what he instills, and to see him under fire like that and people, wanting him gone. Does that, you got fired up when people picked you finish 12th, but does that kind of motivate and anger you guys a little bit and fire you up when you're seeing that?
Yeah, yes, of course it fires us up, because we believe in everything he has told us, and honestly, he has never lied to me, and he has never lied to this team. So we believe in the work, we believe in him, and we believe in what he pushes, and I think that what he pushes is a great thing, and it can get us success. But I think us as players has to do our part. We gotta be better in certain areas, and I think we took accountability this week, but now it's time to take action. Like you saw what the accountability did out there. Now you're going to see what the action is going to be leading up to next week in the way we prepare. Like, obviously, everybody's going to have something bad to say. We're the Gators. Everybody's going to have something bad to say when you're up, and everybody's going to have something bad to say when you're down. So regardless of that, it is what it is, honestly.
Billy mentioned that George Gums was a walk-on receiver, and a tight end, and a defensive end.
My man, G-Money.
What has it been like? What has he brought to y'all's room, and can you believe that he was a former receiver the way he gets after the quarterback now?
Oh, man, G, he's like one of the lights of my day, man. He's one of the most purest people you can ever meet, but the kid works so hard. I call him the Avenger, because he is literally built like an Avenger. If you see him take his shirt off, you would think he was probably in the penitentiary for about a few years. But the kid just works that hard. And when he came in ready to learn. He came in ready to soak in. And what he's done from when he got here to now, it's incredible. And I love that dude because he comes in every day ready to work. He's trying to find some ways to get better. And I kind of know his journey, know his story, where he came from at NIU and how that went for him and where he's at now, man. It's incredible. The kid's he's a freak of nature. I call him a superhero. He's an Avenger. So, and congratulations as well. Congratulations, man, on the baby girl.
Tyreek, you mentioned, obviously you guys get the turnover first drive of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about, is that when things immediately then just switched for the defense, getting the fumble, forced fumble of the season?
That was like a great thing, but I feel like this defense, what I love about us, we're never satisfied. And like things like that happen, and we kind of almost put it, not like put it behind us, but we kind of almost forget about it in a way because we want more. We understand we can do so much more and we can be so much more dominant. We just have to continue to get to understand each other and to continue to work together as a defense. And I think tonight was a great stepping stone to doing that. And I know this week we're gonna work our tails off to pull this one, get ready to pull this one off on Saturday. So, like, this defense is hungry, and that's what I love about them. They're never satisfied, and we always want more. So that's just the big thing, and that's what I love about this team. This defense.
And then you mentioned, obviously started with DJ, firing really on all cylinders, especially in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about, as a defense, you guys get a stop, and then all of a sudden, the offense is building the lead, especially compared to last week where, it was almost the opposite. Just how, I guess, uplifting was it for the unit to see that?
Yes, it's uplifting. And I feel like you go into a game like this, I always tell my guys, I tell the whole team, don't disappoint them. A team like that is coming in here, and they know it's about to happen. But you can't disappoint them, though, because when you disappoint them, you give teams like that hope. And then, like, I don't want a team like that walking away from here even have a thought in your mind. You can't have a thought in your mind that you can beat me. In your dreams, when you wake up, I don't care who you look at. Like, no, I want you to be like, I could never ever beat them, no matter what I did. So I always tell the guys, like, it's expected. Nobody, not one fan walked out there was worried about us failing or losing, unless you wanted us to lose. But other than that, yeah.
Tyreek, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a video that was posted a couple of days ago of you looking into your locker room or into your locker after the loss to Miami. It kind of seems like, especially right now with your answer, that you take these things very personally. You take football very personally. That said, what kind of went differently into this week with your preparation into heading into this game?
I think being more calmer, because I'm a very high tempo, exciting guy, and I think calming everything down and kind of just wait until I get to the game to kind of rile myself up. But of course, I love this game and I love my brothers. It's more so like the football is one part. Like, I like football. I love my team. And that's just the honest to God truth. And I want to do my best to make sure I put something out there that they can be proud of, and I want to be somebody that they can trust, and they can be like, when I'm on the field with Sap, he's going to give me his all, and he's going to make sure he take care of his.
Having gone against both quarterbacks throughout practice, the spring and the fall, just how potent do you think this offense can be utilizing both Graham and DJ?
I say pick your poison. Pick your poison. You want to get bit by a rattlesnake, or you want to get bit by a king cobra. Pick your poison. Either way, I think you're going to die.
You may be the best quote on the team, man.
You guys are all good in the back? All good. All right, guys, joined by DJ Lagway. We'll start with Napier Thomas and DJ right in front.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, quite a debut there. Billy's talked about just the way you kind of rise to the occasion. what was your kind of mindset going into the game, and how do you feel you performed?
You know, my mindset was just, take advantage of the opportunity, to go out there, compete with some heck of a players around me. I feel like the preparation that, like Coach O'Hara, Coach Napier, even Graham, they helped me a lot with just making sure I was prepared, so that was good.
Of all those deep throws, which one stands out in your mind? Because there were several very good ones.
I'd say the one Tank Hawkins, that's like one of my best friends here, so it was like, that was a surreal moment to get our first touchdown together, so it was pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, we'll go to Nick to your right, DJ.
The touchdown you threw to Mizell, can you just walk me through that play? Because it kind of broke down a little bit, and it looked like you were going to take off and run, but you kept your eyes downfield, and it just seems like a lot of arm talent there to get that ball off balance and get it out there.
Yeah, so, just with that play, just trusting my receiver. My man's better than their man. That was the biggest thing. We've been working since January, so I have trust in Aiden and among all my other receivers, so yeah.
You got to run out of the tunnel last week, but does it feel different running out when you're the starting quarterback? What were the two different feelings you had running out of the tunnel this week and then last week?
It was a big difference. I was like really nervous. So it was pretty cool to experience kind of both sides of it. So it was fun. Yeah.
DJ, obviously there was just tremendous amount of hype in the Swamp today. I'm sure you heard the DJ Lagway chants midway through the game. Just what does all that mean to you? Just all the excitement that you've generated among the Florida fan base. Just what does all this mean as you see it translate directly onto the field as soon as you take over?
First off, without God, none of that would have been possible. The performance I had, without my old lineman blocking for me, without the leaders and the veteran guys, being there for me, telling me that they got me, whatever goes happen, good or bad. I feel like that was something big. My receivers making plays, defense, they played their butts off, the first half, even in the whole game, really, So I feel like the whole team aspect and the whole team effort came to play today.
And then finished the day with 456 yards, top 10 all time for a single game performance for the Gators. Did it cross your mind at any point that you were having a record-breaking performance, or were you just locked into the task at hand?
I was just locked in at the task at hand. My coach is telling me one play at a time. That's what it is. Just executing one play at a time. Just getting my guys involved. Just getting everybody involved with the ball. That's the biggest thing.
Hi, DJ. The difference, obviously, you kind of came in last week in the end, got a touchdown in one of your drives. You're starting this week, and does it take a while to really get used to what you've been practicing all week? I mean, last week was only a small sample size. I mean, when did you really start feeling comfortable out there today, or was it right from the start?
I'd say it was right from the start. I feel like Coach Napier prepared us. He got us prepared. I feel like it's like that every week. Like even Miami, I feel like he prepared us a lot. I just feel like everything that they did, we knew what they were going to do before they did it. I feel like it was just preparation.
DJ, sort of on that note, do you think getting that little bit of playing time last week, leading the team on the touchdown drive, how much did that help? You feeling ready right from the get-go today?
That definitely helped with my confidence. I just wanted to feel like how it felt to get tackled in college. And just see how it is on the field with like the crowd noise. 90,000 in the stands. Like I never had that in high school, so just wanted to see how it was. And then after that, first and second play, just the feeling like, okay, I can really do this. That was definitely a big confidence booster.
Okay. We talked about the touchdowns to Tank, to Aiden. Elijah obviously had the long catch. Really did a great job of getting, the receivers involved. Was that something that you were going to try to, during the week were thinking that you really wanted to do, or it just sort of worked out that way?
It just sort of worked out that way. I feel like I got a great relationship with every guy. I know what they want. I know what they like, what routes they like the best. And I feel like that just comes with the relationship I have with those guys individually.
We'll go to your right, Graham.
Coach Napier has said multiple times that one of the best things for your development was Graham Mertz deciding to come back. Just how much do you credit him with the progress you've made already? I know it's only been 8 months, but how involved was he today in helping you through what you were seeing out there?
Man, Graham is the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Him being here, just learning from a veteran player as himself. It's just been amazing to learn and just see how to do things right. And that's just, he's a true professional, and that's what I want to be when I get older.
We'll go to your left, Laura. Right?
DJ, take us through the first throw to Elijah on the out and up. You kind of had the defense moving really where you wanted them, so you had your pick of where you wanted to go, but just what kind of made you kind of take your time and let it go to Elijah, early in the game? like that?
You know, just really follow my rules. You know, each play has rules to it, following progressions, you know, and that was on the progression first on the progression, so you might as well take it.
Go to Jacob to your right.
DJ, what you learned about yourself this week?
You know, what I learned about myself is that, that's a great question. What I learned about myself is really just that I could adapt to, you know, anything, you know, just be ready for it. Any opportunity that comes my way. You know, I've never been put in a situation like this before, like where things could just flip like this. So, but it's a blessing, and you know, I feel like I learned so much this week, and you know, it's been a lot of battle testing this week, and it's been good though.
Go to Zach right.
DJ, on that note, Billy told us that you've been dealing with an injury, and it had held you back a little bit in practice. How difficult was that to go through, wanting to get all the reps that you could, but having to wait until you could get that green light?
Yeah, that was really difficult. That definitely was messing with my mental a little bit. You know, I had a little something going on before the Miami game with my shoulder. You know, so it was just like, got to be ready for my opportunity, and I wasn't gonna let my shoulder, you know, lose that opportunity. So I just feel like I just got to stay getting healthy and just, you know, continue to get better and just working on my feet, working reps and stuff like that.
And I know that you said, you know, during I think Under Armour week that you coming in with the mindset to start. You know, that was your goal, and if it didn't work out that way, you would play whatever role. Now that you've gotten this opportunity, is that something that you still want to keep chasing? And obviously, the decision will be up to coach, but how does that change your mindset now moving forward?
You know, I just want to do what's best for the team. Whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm willing to do. You know, if I got to carry the ball however many times, whatever I got to do, that's what to do to get wins on the column. That's what I got to do. So, yeah.
We'll go to Kevin to your right.
Yeah, you know, it's been a whirlwind. Been here. You got to meet Emmitt Smith, you know, I know in January and so forth, and have really been on campus, you know, for close to a year now. What have you done to try to stay grounded, and how has that development process been to kind of prepare you for this moment?
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, to stay grounded. You know, as a kid, you know, I've always been taught what God gives, He can also take. So, you know, I just definitely stay humble, you know, and give God all the glory, because without Him, I'm nothing. And, you know, that's just the biggest thing with me. So I just give Him all the glory, because I know that's where my source and power is coming from.
We talked about the fans cheering you on, but how was that locker room when you first came in and everyone's supporting you on a great night and a successful night?
And it's a blessing, you know, to have such a great supporting cast as my teammates around me. You know, they've seen me at my lows, they've seen me at my highs, you know, so it's been great to, you know, just see them rally behind me this week, and just, you know, just see the leadership from the veteran guys, you know, to come around me and support me. It's been amazing.
We'll go to Nick on your right.
Next week, Texas A&M, a college you're probably very familiar with, right down the road. Just what will that mean to go up and face a school that you've probably seen play 100 times?
It's gonna be fun, you know. It's gonna be a surreal moment. You know, I'm just excited for that moment. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to put them in the swamp. You know, it's gonna be fun.
One right here, too.
So obviously, there's a lot of hype, a lot going on around you right now, but it's easy to forget that you're just a true freshman that's just stepped foot onto campus a few months ago. How have you just been able to take all this in so quickly and just apply everything that you've learned onto the field and into the locker room just right away?
You know, I say my coaches, you know, my coaches been hard on me since day one. You know, they've molded me, you know, and they're gonna continue to coach me hard, and that's what I love about Coach Napier and the staff, man. They're gonna coach me hard. They're gonna make sure I'm getting better each and every day. They're not gonna let nothing little slip by, none of that. So that's what I love about that, yeah.
Thanks, DJ.
Appreciate you.
On that note, DJ, during your recruitment, you could have went anywhere in the country. You decided to come here, and you stayed solid throughout your decision. Why were you so firm to Florida, and what is it about Napier and this staff has made you want to be here?
You know, really, there's two things. You know, Coach Napier, of course, you know, and the fan base. Man, the fan base has shown me love since day one. You know, so I'm a Gator through and through. So yeah.
Appreciate it, DJ.
Appreciate you. Go Gators.